There's not very many places in Florida where you can see Florida's basement.
It doesn't look like any other place I've been in Florida. This seems like a place lost in time. But then, you're never really lost if you see an orange blaze.
A lot of times you're just looking at the ground in front of you. Now you can stop and see something interesting, which is a little bit different from just walking normally along a trail.
We're here today on the Aucilla Sinks section of the Florida National Scenic Trail. This is one of the most interesting geologic sections of the entire Florida National Scenic Trail, where it's following this whole series of sinkholes and river runs.
What we are seeing are bits and pieces of the Aucilla River. To get a better perspective of what is happening to the river, we head north to where it flows freely. There, we get an explanation from the Aucilla Wildlife Management Area's chief biologist.
Just south of us is the primary subduction of the Aucilla River, where it first goes underground and then reappears in a series of karst windows or sinkholes, where the river, the water, and the tannic acid in the water from the surrounding vegetation can dissolve that limestone and created those sinkholes.
I thought it was amazing to see how the river is just a normal river going along, and all of a sudden it goes underground, or the ground rises in front of it and it disappears in the ground, and then it shows up every once in a while along the way.
Even though the water is really down, this whole water does flow. So it just looks like a dead river in most places. Here shows a little bit of current as the water is moving towards the Gulf.
You can see here where the limestone is starting to erode and where the land is starting to sink in. We had a few guests accompany us on this trip. Some were invited. Some were not.
What is that?
It's a Luna moth.
Let's learn more about our invited guests.
The Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission manages the Aucilla Wildlife Management Area, which the Florida Trail passes through here. So the volunteers of the Florida Trail Association and the volunteers of the Appalachia chapter of the Florida Trail Association maintain this section of trail for the public to enjoy. Our partners with this trail are also the U.S. Forest Service, which is the administrator of the Florida National Scenic Trail, and they help us with providing funding for the bridges and the boardwalks and some of the tools and equipment that our volunteers use to build and maintain the trail.
I am a frequent visitor out here with my animals. I love the Aucilla Sinks section, and I encourage people to come out here. Beware of ticks, but it is certainly one of the most beautiful sections of National Scenic Trail in this area as it dances along the sinks.
So without our partners, this trail wouldn't exist. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into it, and we really appreciate the work that the volunteers do and that the Florida Trail Association does to maintain this wonderful trail.
I know, they say less than that.
We are momentarily lost,
Really
and it seems like a good time to review how the Florida Trail is marked.
No, I kind of like it.
Orange blazes mark the trail. Every mark is within line of sight of another mark.
And two blazes vertical over one another indicate a change in direction. So whenever you see a double blaze like this, you need to stop and look to see where the next blaze is. Around every turn in the trail, you're seeing something new and something different and something interesting. So this is really a special place that only 45 minutes from Tallahassee you can come and see and enjoy.
For WFSU TV, I'm Rob Diaz de Villegas.